Okay, what's going on down here? Hey, babe. What you doing? Looks like you're painting some blocks. You're doing a great job too, by the way. Yes, she is.
That silly camera.
It's not a silly camera. This is going to make us some money. You stay tuned and I'll show you how we're going to make money. You just keep watching our videos. But for right now, I thought I'd get the camera out. And why is she making these blocks? Well, we're going to be installing these shades. We got these from our favorite little store. What was it? Lowe's. I believe we got it from Lowe's. Right here. And they have them in different lengths. Here, this one is a 10-foot long one. And it only unrolls 6 feet, but that's more than plenty, because we're going to install it up here along this beam, and it's going to hang down for the morning sun, so that when we're sitting here looking out this way, we don't get the sun in our eyes right in here. And we're going to install one over here too against this beam. And see, the neighbors have one. See this, that one over there? They just pull that down at night, you know, or the mornings, whatever. And we're going to end up putting a shade here and one over there. In fact, we might even put two along here, and it just so happens that these beams are 10 foot apart, a little bit over, and we can install it on the ends of the beams if we want to get two more of these. But these blocks, what are these blocks for anyway? See, we're going to install it on the side of this beam, and see here where this column is, it sticks out a little bit. So we're going to put two blocks in there right there. The block is going to come out a little bit further, so then we're going to put the blind on that so it doesn't kind of pooch on that. See how the neighbors had to do it too? See that block there behind there? They did it on this side because they've got the downspout. We didn't want to put it on the outside because you'd have to build that out from there over. Okay, so we're putting it on the inside. So 2 blocks here, 2 blocks at that end. Then we'll have to rearrange the head of one of these lights, those halogen lights. Same thing over here. We'll do the same thing. Okay. Now, do you think anyone, babe, could do this? Little do-it-yourself.
If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen you do anything yet except paint some blocks. But you're doing a good job. Here, there's a little bit right down there in this edge. There you go.
Thank you.
We're doing it. We could have put these blocks on first and then painted them, but the blocks were going to be up real close to the wall there. And I didn't want to have to mess with that and have to get it on the other paint there. So we're painting the blocks first. We'll let those dry, and then we'll put them up. Okay? Good job, babe. Keep it up. Keep it going. And then we'll get ready to install this. And I have easy directions in here. Anyone can do this. And the thing I like about this, see, there's a round deal there, and there's a handle here. See, there's a hook here. This came with it, and this is your handle. This turns like such, and then you hold your hand on there and wind it. And you can open and close it that way. And on the directions, it's preset for one side. Because see, where do you want this handle? Do you want it hooked right here, or do you want it down there? There's a way to make it right hand and left hand. See, the neighbors, they just happen to have one too. I don't know. They might have gotten this one at Lowe's too. See, there's their handle right there, and they've got the hook in it. And then you just set it like that and zip it down and up. In fact, that one looks almost exactly the same, except this one's a little bit lighter, a little bit darker color there. Cool. Okay, stick around. If you want to see how this goes up and how it works, we'll be right back at you. I'm just going to show you what I used to cut this with. I just used a little battery operated saw like this. It's got a 6.5-inch blade, and that's all you need, and it's a battery pack. And I took the battery out, and I'm going to use it in my drill now. But that's it. You don't have to buy a $250 expensive commercial grade skill saw. thing I like about this, if you get a saw such as this, they have them, the blade on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. Now, years ago, the blade was always on the right-hand side, and I didn't even know they had them on the left-hand side, something like this. That's why I like to get the other type of skill saws, because it's always on the left-hand side. If you're right-handed, you want to sit there with your right hand, then you want to bend down and look over here and line this up with your eye, rather than holding your hand like this and then looking over this way to see where to cut it off. It's kind of dangerous to do that if you're trying to hold the wood with your left hand, cut with this on the right, and then look over on the far right to see where your blade is. So if you're going to get something like this, get the one on the left hand side and you'll be good. Hey, and how did I cut those blocks? You got to get a little square like this, okay? Get those at the store, and that's how, and I use that. It's set on there like that and marked it. You've got to have something like that to cut all your blocks nice and straight and square. And then to take off the little burrs, I got a little rasp like this. You've got to get one of these. I've had one of these for years. This happens to be a brand new one because my other one I don't have with me right now. It's in Maui. Okay, it'll soon be with me. Don't worry about that. But these work really good for that too. And when I install these, I'm going to pre-drill them. So I've got drill bits in here, and I'm using some screws here. These are 3-inch coarse, and I've got 2.5-inch coarse. I like to use those for wood. Okay, let's see here. I'll get this open with just one hand. I guess I can't. I guess I'm going to have to use two. See those? Coarse sheetrock screws, what they're called. Coarse thread drywall screw, and these are 3-inch. And I've got some 2.5-inch over here. I'm probably going to use the 2.5s. That should be plenty. Okay. We got water-based paint here, and she's asking me a good question. Okay, what are we going to do now? We're going to let this dry, and we got it out in the sun. It's not going to take very long. We're going to put a second coat on, and instead of washing this out, you know what you're going to do with that? You're going to take your saran wrap. We're going to put some saran wrap or plastic over this. We're just going to wrap it with that and push it down on it so it won't dry out. Then you can use that same one without washing it out. Okay. See here, saran wrap, or you could take plastic and get it on there and make sure you don't have any bubbles, air bubbles in there. Get that all covered. See, that's going to stay wet. That could stay wet for hours like that before you need to use your paintbrush again. No need rinsing it out 4 or 5 times as you're doing a paint project. You know what I'm saying? Because I know where you're going to be washing it, down the sink probably or something. I mean, where else are you going to wash it? On a hose, out on the grass? I guess you could do something like that. But this way, I won't have to do anything until the last time I use this. And I'm using a throwaway paintbrush, by the way. If you want, you could just use this, get done with your project, and throw this away. Pull the plastic off after you're 100% done. Leave the plastic off, let it dry before you throw it away. Hey, be good to the environment. Now, are all blinds created equal? Of course they aren't. So make sure you read what you're buying, because see, this one here says 120 inches, 10 foot by 6 feet. Means it's only gonna unroll 6 feet. Now, if you want your blind to go from there all the way down to the ground and bolt it down to the ground, that's something entirely different. This is only gonna come down 6 feet. They're designed for like windows and things like that, but for here, you can see we're only gonna need to pull it down maybe 3 or 4 feet at the most any one time. Even if we ended up putting some here, we could pull it down 6 feet, and that's it. And then it's got some little brackets for the ends. I'm not seeing them right now. What happened to those brackets for the bottom?
Put them on.
Oh,
Oh, you mean the back
yeah.
brackets?
Yeah, to where you bolt the tie-down ones. Oh no. Well, they give. Oh, here they are. They got these here with some tie-down straps, and then you can hook something to the end of it as you pull this down. And we saw some really cool ones. They were coming down, and they just kind of pulled them off to the side, and they had a handrail on a deck, and then they had some bungee cords coming from the handrail, and they just came out. This thing swung out at an angle, and then they put the bungee right in the little loop at the end. Okay, right there. And that was kind of slick. And then this it will extend this from here down to about like that, and then you can attach it to the fence. Something like that. If you want to extend this as it's raining or just the sun, and you can stick some furniture in here, whatever you want to do. Okay? So make sure when you're at the store, read the sizes and get what you need.